Dear students, in vectors you might have seen, you might have heard the word so called collinear coplanar. In fundamentals, in basic concepts of vectors, you might have heard about this word collinear and coplanar. What do you mean by collinear? Collinear means if two vectors A and B or two vectors are collinear, one vector is a linear combination of another. That means linear means this is A and this is B, and it is a linear combination means B vector is equal to x into A vector. Likewise we can write, that is what linear combination. Linear combination means in terms of something which is in the line segment called, that is a magnitude. With the help of magnitude, what we call that used to write as lambda here, that is collinear. And for coplanar, coplanar means we need three vectors. Collinear means two vectors, coplanar means three vectors. Here let us think about this coplanar vectors. What do you mean by coplanar here? For this particular sum, exercise 8.2, show that the following vectors are coplanar. Coplanar means we need three vectors. If it is for 2 we can write, if it is for 3 we have to go with a process of proving coplanar. Coplanar means here there is a vector called O to A is A vector, and B vector is, this is the representation of, this is so called, it is B dash like this. So B vector. So this is A vector and this is B vector representation. But I have taken from A to B here, there is a point, that is OE into B. This is parallel to this. So we are writing as linear combination. What is called? Linear combination, that is OE into B. So this is O A vector, the entire part is a A vector, but when we assign O to A, the line segment, that is O to A, that is XA vector. Remember that. How to represent a vector as a linear combination? It is O to A is XA vector. Likewise, A to B, the representation is B vector, but here with the linear combination it is YB vector. So any coplanar vectors should be represented in terms of XA as OA and A to B as YB, because it is parallel to this. Okay, fine. Now using the triangle of addition, OB vector is equal to OA vector plus AB vector. So you might have learned about this collinear vector in detail in class, but I could recall in such a way that C vector, that is representation of OB is C vector, and it is a OA plus AB. OA is XA vector, AB is YB vector. So called the result is C vector is equal to XA vector plus YB vector. What is linear combination? It is some segment which we multiply with A and some segment which we multiply by Y. So that is XA plus YB, that is the representation of collinear, that is a coplanar vectors. Okay. Now this result is very implied, very applicable to this problem. Now let us see this problem. What and also called we take, let us take A vector as 5A vector plus 6J vector plus 7K vector. Let me take like this, and B vector as 7I vector minus 8J vector plus 9K vector, and C vector as 3I vector plus 20J vector plus 5K vector. So I have represented A, B, C like this way. In any order you take. If you wish to take the first one as C, you can take. The second one as B, okay, well and good. If you want to take A, as you wish. That is, representation is yours. The fundamental is, this is the one. Remember that. This is the fundamental and I am representing A, B, C like this way. So, based on the concept of coplanar, I am going to use this if 3 vectors are coplanar, because we want to prove it is to prove the given vectors are coplanar means if A, B, C are coplanar vectors, so the result is what? We will take it as C vector is equal to X A vector plus Y B vector. This is the representation which we like to take. Now, we wish to know what is the value of X and Y. We want to know all the 3 are correct or not, that we have to check. Now, let us take, just write 3I vector plus 20J vector plus 5K vector, and A 5I vector plus 6J vector plus 7K vector. This is X into A plus Y into B. So, the B is 7I minus 8J plus 9K. Remember that. So, A vector is equal to X into A vector plus Y into B vector. How I represented, the same way I have taken. Now, we have to take the corresponding components of the vectors, equating, we wish to know equating like components, So, usually when we do in algebra, we used to take coefficients. When we represent in vectors, we have to use the word components of I, j, k, components of I vector, j vector, k vector on both sides. So, you should know certain usages of word of vectors. So, here we are using the components. So, here 3, the 5 with x and 7 with y. Remember that 5 with x, 7 with y. Likewise, each side I wish to take now 5x plus 7y. So, the first vector is I components. First we have taken I. Next j. J is what? Here 20 is equal to this part 6x minus 8y. That is for j. And for k, that is 5. Remember that this is 5 and here it is 7x and then 9y plus 9y. Now, somehow, some method, you have learned so many things in 10th standard as well in the lower classes. How to solve 3 equations or 2 equations, so many methods you know. Simultaneous equation method, rule of cross multiplication, so many process you know. I am going to use rule of cross multiplication, which is simple and easy. Rule of cross multiplication, I wish to take this one. In what way it is? 5x plus 7y minus 3 equal to 0, and this equation wish to take 6x minus 8y minus 20 is equal to 0, and the last and final equation I wish to represent 7x plus 9y minus 5 is equal to 0 by the rule of cross multiplication. By the rule of cross multiplication, we can solve this one very simple and easy way to know about the value of x and y. So, let me take x, y, 1 and x, like this I can take the coefficient of, now it is come under the algebra, I wish to take it is coefficient of x, y and constant. Coefficient x is 5 and then 7, then minus 3, then once again we have to write 5. The first 2 equations I have taken for the calculation of x and y, because If we wish to take 3, we take 3 equations, 3 variables. But here only 2 unknown variables as x and y. So, I wish to take only 2 equations by which I can get the value of x and y. So, 6 and minus 8 and here minus negative 20, then 6 here. Let me read out 5x plus 7y minus 3. I have taken only the coefficient and constant term as it is, and here for the second equation 6x minus 8y minus 20 and then 6. So, now let us take x and then y and then 1. These are the 3 things we wish to take. Now, for x you have to take only this part, and for y leaving this and remaining 2 columns, and for 1 considering only the first column. Remember, I just would like to recall, for calculating x leaving this column and take next 2. Next 2 means you take like this 7, negative 3, negative 8, negative 20. Likewise, then for y, likewise we have to take negative 3, 5, negative 20 and then 6. And for 1, leaving these 2, take the first 2. So, that means 5, 7, 6 minus 8. Likewise, I have taken the value for x, y. So, now for x, we can take minus 140, then minus 24 here, minus 140, minus, it is negative of negative positive with the help of this. Now, for y, it is nothing but negative 18 plus 60. 5 2s are 100, 100 it is. So, y is equal to negative 18 plus 20 here, and for 1 it is minus negative 40, negative 42. Like this I got the number now. So, x is what? It is negative 164, and for y it is 82 here. 82 out of 100 minus 18, it is 82, and for this it is negative 1 by 18, 82 here. So, this part I can take it minus up here. Okay, let it be here. This part finally I can do it another way. Okay. Now, for each part we have to component now. So, x is equal to negative 164 by negative 82, which comes twice, and for y it is 82 divided by negative 82, which comes under, that is negative 1. Now, we found out the value for x and y as 2 and 1. So, whether it is correct or not, let us take these 2 values as x and y to check with the last term. What is the last term? So, we have the term is 7x plus 9y. To check whether it is a coplanar or not, to check what we can take the last equation 7x plus 9y. So, 7 into x is what? Here it is 2 plus 9 into y, what we have, it is negative 1. So, that means 14 minus 9, which is 5. So, what we have, the third equation, that is 5 we have, the same thing we have arrived. By way of substituting these x and y to the third equation, we found out the result is right. That means what we have considered the coplanar vectors is correct. So, that means the value of x and y is what? Value of x comma y is nothing but 2 comma minus 1 as well, and the vector A, vector B and vector C are coplanar vector. Therefore, vector A, vector B and vector C is coplanar vectors. In what way I found out? by way of taking the value of x and y, I have substituted the third equation by which I have arrived the result of 5. That means it is right. Once it is checked, once it is correct, what is given as ABC is a coplanar vectors. So, I have confirmed that all the 3 vectors are coplanar. So, let us recap. So, first of all, you should know about what is coplanar vectors. C vectors equal to xa plus yb is a fundamental concept that you have to recall. And second part, you have to assign all the 3 vectors as A, B, C. And I have noted down, I have just applied the value, I have taken the components by which I have arrived 3 equations. Of all the 3 equations, I do not want to take anything. I have taken first 2 equations to know about the value of x and y. So, I have taken the method of rule of cross multiplication. You take any equation, any method by which you can arrive the value of x and y. I have found out the value of x and y as 2 and minus 1. That I have to take it to the third equation. If I would have get the right hand side, that means what I have taken the vectors are right. If not, it is not a coplanar. But what I have taken the value, what I found out the result, both are same. That means it is balanced, it is correct. So, I have affirmed that ABC are coplanar vectors.